Hello, good evening. It's me again, Arlene, and I've made a prior video which is like my primer for retirement in Philippines. And one of the people who've seen the video, his name is Clive, sent me that the topic that most retirees or foreign people coming into the Philippines to retire actually wants to hear about is how they can meet a good, decent Filipina. So I feel obligated now to make a follow-up video about that, and I think you will find this helpful. For the most part, most of the Filipinas you will meet on are from online. So you sign up for a dating website and you started chatting. So when you're making your profile, I would really suggest that to filter out the right Filipina that you're looking for, you have to be very, very honest. We have a tendency to like buffer our profile like it's a resume. No, just be honest. Be your true self. Tell the Filipina what's your motivation, what's your end goal. Is it marriage? Is it like a long term partnership? Is it just girlfriend you're looking for? Because I tell you, most Filipinas are very still traditional at heart. They prefer to be married, or if they already have kids, or if for some reason they cannot marry, they prefer someone who would still, grow on a long term relationship with them. This is like 99.9% true for most Filipinas. So you just have to be honest. Don't give them false hope if you're the type who doesn't really believe in marriage, because it's really unfair. It's gonna break a lot of hearts. So don't go to that route, okay? Just be brutally honest with what your intentions are, what you're looking for, what's your motivation, and what you are, what's your work. Don't embellish your profile like it's a resume. And also expect the same thing from the profile of the Filipina that you're trying to date. Um, if she's really genuine with meeting somebody and you kind of like what's in her profile, she ticks some of the boxes, then immediately ask her social account. It's probably Facebook or Instagram, which is more comprehensive, isn't it? So ask for her account, add each other as friends, so you will have a good um, insight into how she is as a person, like what she really looks like. See her videos. She went to which school, or how's her family like. It will give you a very good idea, at least, of what she is, what's her like and dislike. And if you find it interesting, then I would suggest ask her to have a video call with you, because who knows, maybe the photos in her profiles are fake. So you have to know that she's a real person. You will also know if, with her level of communication, you can understand each other, or if you think the same things. You will know this once you start video calling. So after you video call, you have to look for certain things, because this is like a complaint that I see in some I don't know, some stories, horror stories I hear, that once they started video calling the Filipina starts asking for money. So this is actually a red flag, and I don't have to tell you it's a red flag. You probably know it's a red flag. So unless you find her really, really, really interesting and her reason for doing so is very valid, then it's really up to you if you still want to talk to her after she starts asking for money. But for me, it's a red flag, because she just met you and you just met her, and already she's starting to ask for money. So I would suggest that it's a big red flag. If I were you, I probably wouldn't pursue any further unless you are genuinely wanting to help. Then that's fine. But if you know, I would really say, okay, trust your instinct. If it's just a one time off and if her reasons are valid, and then okay. And if it's just a small amount, then okay. But if it starts to become a pattern, then you have to be really worried. Why is she asking for money? And yeah, so that's a big red flag, and you just have to check if there's a pattern. Because if there's a pattern, then all right, I don't have to digress. You already know what I'm talking about. Um, Also, in defense of Filipinas who are, my sisters, it hurts me when they're saying that, these Filipinas are like gold diggers, or okay, probably they're like a few rotten apples, but you can find gold diggers everywhere. There are gold diggers in US, in UK, in Canada, in Japan, in all societies. I mean, why are there billionaires or millionaires or successful businessmen who have different girlfriends every month? It's because genetically, I would say women are attracted to men who can provide. And this goes as far as, as far as the caveman and the Neolithic man and the Homo sapien, our ancestors. Women are attracted to men who can catch the cow or catch the bison or the hunters and gatherers of their tribe. So this is something that's like imprinted genetically in women. So it's unfair to say that Filipinas are like this or women are like this, because it's been like that since ages, since centuries. I know that there are a lot of progress now and women can earn their own money, but still, it's like a woman would really, appreciate it if a man can provide for a family, because you want to start a family with this person, or at least spend a lifetime with this person. So you're expecting that both of you can contribute something. And for the most part, women would really look up to men who can provide, because it's been like that for centuries. And I know some feminists would disagree, but there are some things that's just hard to change. But I would suggest that not because you are the one who's earning more money than the Filipina, that you have a right to be condescending to her and to her family. I would say that's really unfair, because to tell you honestly, there are a lot of Filipinas who are working either in Philippines or overseas who make more money than their husband. And never would you hear a Filipina say to her Filipino husband that, hey, I make more money than you. I mean, we just don't do that, okay? So if the role has been reversed and here you are, a foreign guy who makes more money than the Filipina, or maybe the Filipina isn't working, then what right do you have to be condescending to her or to her family just because you're the one with the money? Because I tell you what, if that woman ended up with a local guy and she's the one who's supporting the family, and the guy doesn't have work, or he has work but it's less, she wouldn't, tell it to his face or make him feel like smaller just because of that. That's just a no-no. So, and also, even if she doesn't have like a job, looking after you, or if you have kids together, looking after your kids, I mean, how much is childcare in the UK or in the US or in this all these western countries? It's very, very, very expensive. Childcare is expensive, getting a nanny is expensive. Even if you don't have kids, the fact that she's looking after you, it has a price. It has a price that cannot be monetized, but it's not free. Other the services, if in another culture, could have been paid, but she's doing it for you out of respect, out of love. And the moment this Filipina realizes that you're really like looking after her and sometimes also her family, she would be grateful and indebted to you. because she sees that you're looking after her and also her family in some cases. Now, if you realize that most of the time, um, she's asking for money or her family's asking way too much money, then you just have to be honest with her and tell her that I have to draw a boundary, and it shouldn't be a problem because, to be honest, if she had ended up with a local guy, and this local guy doesn't have the same money as you are and so cannot help the family, her family wouldn't really say anything about it because that's there's a limitation, right? So if you say the same thing, they wouldn't really take it personally. Um, so it's okay to help, but if it starts to really be too much, you just have to really speak and tell the Filipino that I have boundaries when it comes to me spending outside of you. But I would really suggest just also try to help because once if she's stressed with her own family, she will be stressed when she's also with you because she's thinking of her family as well. So just try to alleviate her financial burden as well if it's not too much to ask. What else? So, how do you make sure that you're meeting a good Filipina? Well, first of all, you have to check, are her moral values okay? Where did you meet her? What's her pattern of relationship? Alright? So, when you meet a girl, let's be honest, or if a girl meets a guy, she has at the back of her head and in the back of your head an idea of, am I too good for this or is she too good for me? So when you feel that probably you're too good for her, then just don't drag her along in the relationship with the thinking that okay, for now this is okay, but when I meet a better Filipina, I'm gonna drop her and find somebody else. Just if that's your impression from the first date, then cut it, okay? Don't touch her, okay? Just don't have fun, all right? Because it's at the end of the day, it's gonna hurt her, and you're gonna get a bad reputation as well because words do get around in the Filipino community that you're dating somebody different every time. So I would suggest, unless you're sure that, okay, I think we're a match. She's not too good for me and I'm not too good for her. We're just what we need exactly. Then make a commitment, make your investment on her, and don't be stingy on her because a woman would know if you're holding back. If you're holding back, she will also hold back because she will think that she's just somebody temporary, and maybe at the back of her head she will be thinking, okay, he's holding back, maybe I will also meet somebody better and I should also hold back. And instead of having a flourishing and growing relationship, you will end up with a relationship that has no spark because you're both being dishonest with each other. So if you know that you're too good for her or she's too good for you, and you know that somehow, somewhere along the line, somebody will find somebody else, then just don't pursue it. Save yourself the heartache and save her the heartache as well. If you're the one who thinks you're better, you could find somebody better. So what goes around comes around. So I believe in karma, and I hope you do too. And don't get a reputation for being a playboy by doing so. So that's I think one more thing. So if you want to meet a decent girl, go to places where you'll likely find a decent girl. All right, or have people give you a recommendation of where can I find a decent girl. And by decent, you have to be very clear what's your definition of decent. Okay? Or maybe you're not really after that. You just want somebody who is nice and nice looking and cute, and she doesn't have to be like your age. I mean, just be very very honest with what you're looking for, and expect and demand that the woman also be honest with you, and I think you wouldn't have a hard time. Just don't set unrealistic expectation for yourself and for her, and be very frank, upfront as to what you want, and I think you should be fine. So I hope you find this helpful. You can like and subscribe, and if you feel that this is not very helpful, then you can probably tell me um, other suggestions as to what I can discuss to elaborate on the points that I made. So for now, that's what I can share, my thoughts and views on how you can find a good Filipina. So thank you.